All right, I got my trusty dusty calculator, I got my tablets, and I've got my notes, and I don't remember a single one of the Oasis holes until I actually look at them. So today's goal is it's practice, so I'm going to take my practice account out. If I qualify today, I qualify today. I'm not going to forfeit any stuff. I'm just going to play through and try and win. I want to try and win on every hole, and I'm just going to practice today, but I'm only going to play this account and my main account, and then there's no plan tomorrow. I'm just going to play them up. See what happens. These types of tournaments, these 9-hole cups, tiebreakers are totally, like, absolutely key. But if you think about it, this is like the qualifying round. So you go out there and you play the deal like in a normal tournament, but we don't get all of the time to develop. So, like going out there and popping off just a pretty decent score, give yourself some tiebreakers, get in the weekend round. If you can pick up, this is a tough tournament, but if you can pick up a shot, you can really separate yourself from the crowd. And let's see what our odds are. So let's get in it. You know, there is a confusing thing in this game. And the confusing thing is this screen right here. What up, Phil Sanders? First man in the house. What's up, brother? So I see this right here when you open up tournaments, and if you're brand new to the game, like this is a very bad misconception. Like this person's in first, they played 9 holes and they got a -6. If they played 3 or 4 holes, that would make more sense. Because don't like look at the scores here and think, yeah man, I can do that. These tournaments are tough. There's a lot of people that have been playing tournaments for a long time, and everybody who plays wants to win. So some people just want to win more than others. Rookie, 5K in the bank. Only 2 of us. All right, hole number 1. Let's go check out hole number 1 and see what hole number 1 is all about. Hole number 1 of the Oasis. All right. So normally in one-on-one play, I play this like I'm all over the max power hook. I don't care if I land out here. I don't care if I land. Let me get my pen working. Oh, we're gonna need a pen. What were you thinking? Damn Ricky bastard. Where is my pen? Draw on the screen. Alright, did it pop up? Hell no, there it is. So you can come out into this area right here. Oh, of course, it turned itself off. Come out in this area, but the way the wind's blowing like this. So if we take the shot out into this area, our shot coming into the cup, we've got not quite a pure tailwind. The farther out you get, the more you're in pure tailwind. So if you get pretty close out there, you're going to have a little bit of side wind, but it's not enough that, like, I was watching Dale Appleby's stream, we were talking about this hole, and the deal is that, like in the last tournament, the way the wind was blowing, like normally I like try and come out to this area, but the way the wind was blowing, it kind of took the rough bump out of play. So it was better to play over to this side and come at it that way. And so even though this is the only side that I play in one-on-one, unless the wind is really bad, and I mean it's got to be some weird stuff because I'll play a max power hook here, but I usually play to this side. But in the tournament, I'm going to play to the left because there's a great shot going in here, and I think with the way the wind is, like I've got a 10% on my notes. My buddy Dale had a 15 on his, and he got it in with the 15, and it was like where it was. I think you've got some variance. So let's get on it. I have no idea about the rest of the holes. That was it. Dale was streaming and he had a bunch of stuff, and I have the time to stream, so I'm like, I'm just gonna go play. Sorry, buddy. We're streaming at the same time. Damn it. Unlocked at 4th bag. Fantastico. It's really bad in your practice account when you have 3 and in your main account you have 5. So get in there. I'm gonna take I think I can take a QB. I'm gonna take the Kingmaker, the damn show. I'm not gonna put any more than 3 top spin on it, and we'll see where I end up out there with 3 top spin. like how much room I leave, but I want to try and get out there and see like what the spot looks like. 3 top spin. All right, here we roll. Here we go. Getting warmed up. Walking out on the course, chugging our bag. We're still in a good mood because we're on hole number 1. Alright, right at Max Club. Maybe all the way up. I like to be in the center, like when I'm shooting over to those areas, I want to be in the center as much as possible. I'm all about giving myself a lot of room. Man, it looks like I can put more topspin on it than 3. I'm going to put 4. .38. I'm just going to do the 3/8. 1 per ring, 3.8 rings. Yeah. I was getting some lag, but that was all me. And why do you bring a QB instead of an extra mile? Because a QB's rings, 2 of a QB's rings are within 1 ring on an extra mile. So that means if you hit a great to the left or the right, in that case a right, with your extra mile, you're 2.1 rings off. But if you hit a 2-ring great with a quarterback, you're only 2 rings off. And you're actually, so it's, you've got a much better shot of always being in a forward position so that you're taking that next shot. And typically, if you clip like that, you're on the inside, so you actually shortened out, like in this case, I shortened out the distance, so my distance is actually going to be pretty good on the other side. But if you have an extra mile on that shot, it's very easy to get caught up with a great to the left or the right down in this area, and it is the end of the hole. Like, you're not going to get an eagle. So if you're doing a layup shot on a drive, it's always best to see if you can get it done with your rock or your quarterback. With the rock's extra distance, if you're using the raw distance of a rock, it's better to use a rock. But if you're having to pull back and find a spot, it's better to use a QB. And it's got more topspin. 3.5, 2 rings. 5 rings off. And I'll lead it right up to the cup. So it's 3.52 rings. .52 rings. And hit perfect. Ah, freaking rat bastards. Right to the right. Let's see if my speed's right. That speed would have worked. If it had been there, it might have been a little fast. So you might be just like right in front of the cup. But this is one of those holes, I think, where if you leave it too far short, it's actually telling you the truth. So like in that case right there, like if you were right in front of the cup and I was right on the back side of the cup, so I could take a little bit of speed out and still feel pretty comfortable. Good news is I hit great to the right. I went great to the right on a wood. You're going to be 1 ring off. So that's, if you think about the width of your rings down where you're making your ring adjustments, sometimes it feels like, like it's 0.1, like that's no big deal, but it's a big deal on the other end. I had, right before they came out with the new ball guide deal, I had done a bunch of research on compass points, like talking about compass points. And if you do like is it 60 nautical miles? If you're 1 degree off, you're off by a mile at the other end. So that's kind of like the way it is in this game. Like if you're off 0.1 or 0.2, you could be off by a mile. Getting some lag. I've been really busy, so I haven't worked on my internet. Internet's first step. I know my internet can be faster than when I have it. I was going to play last night and just record, and I don't think I did. I was wiped out. It's a draw! And I am not playing shootouts. Now I'm going to play this one. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. Yeah, it's kind of a headwind on the other side. And I'm not going to play this one. Okay, I'll play it. You guys talk to me into it. Let's see what the setup looks like. I'm gonna do a 2. There's 1, 2, and just a little, like 3. And I hit it great. But it still hit the rough. And that was with like a 5%. I did like a 2.3, so that was like a 5% pull. And I probably could have I hit it great to the right, so I mean I ended up on the right, so I can't but I want to go back and watch that. What was the spin? What spin did I put on that as far as like backspin and side spin? Because I think that's right in the area. So you come on that hole and you put on a little bit of backspin and a little bit of side spin and set the ball up, and then wherever that works, where it leads to the cup, that's the spot. Mark Jones in the house. Vintage Golf. Thanks for coming back. Rifter. Phil Sanders was the first one in the chat. First fan in the chat. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those were both pretty close, pretty close. I think I'm going to do, when I get to that hole, I'm going to do like a 10% adjustment. Well, I'm not going to do any, I'm going to do the 5 that I did and see if I can hit it perfect. That would be nice. All right, hole number 2. Hole number 2. I know I've played every single one of these Oasis holes. I don't know how many times, but I don't remember the holes numbers. All right, what are we doing on this hole? We're doing the same thing. We're doing a QB and a Kingmaker to get us up into this area. You can use a rock, whatever. It might be better to use a rock because of the rod distance, but I think you can get it done with a QB. Let me try a QB and see what the deal is. What do I have in my notes? QB, Titan. You could use a Kingmaker. It'll help cut the wind down. .5 topspin max with a QB. All right. That's what my notes say. And I think what I did was I put together a playlist, and then when I put that playlist together for the walkthrough, I took notes. I watched all those videos. I watched a bunch of video, and then I found ones that looked decent. I'm gonna take a Kingmaker. Can I take a Kingmaker? I can't take a Kingmaker. And a sniper. All right, here we roll. On that long-winded rigmarole, talking the whole deal. Yeah, we're doing good. Halfway busy, getting busier. Starting to get summer here. Or like in our first heat wave, we've had some days that are actually where we've had some hot weather. Clear, no rain in the forecast. Timmy goes first from the GC Players Club. That's a good name. Now, when you get to this hole, there shouldn't be any decision. You need to play to the left. I mean, you can play to the right. There is a shot over there to the right. I'm not going to say there isn't a shot, but you get over there, and if you set it up and you bring the right secondary club for the spot that you're typically landing, that side's not, I mean, you got a shot from over there. I just think like the high, well, I think the higher percentage way to go at it is from the left. And it's super easy to get in trouble on either side, but there's more trouble on the right. What did I have? 1.5 topspin max. I want to be 3 rings off that transitional surface. 2-4. And that looks like it's going to go long. I'm going to lean to the right. And I hit it 5,000 rings good to the left. Lag. Killing me. So that shot right there is not where you want to be. You can't get on from there. So I'm just going to chip it over to the spot where I brought the right club, because I have a shot of sinking it from that spot. So I'm just going to shoot over to that spot and take that shot. That's what I came prepared for. Definitely cannot hit a good... And this lag situation is killing me. I haven't played on my phone in a long time, but my phone's usually so smooth that my timing on my phone versus the timing on my tablet is a little different. Like on my phone, you really want to hit on the 3rd time by. It doesn't do well on even numbers. It doesn't do well when you're hitting from the left to the right. This way, from the left to the right. And I'm a switch hitter. I like to. Sometimes it feels like it's better on one side or the other. Trying to get into a rhythm. I might be able to get up from there. I'm just going to let the wind push me. And I'm getting serious lag. Like I'm having to try and anticipate that that's going to be right back in the rough. From the rough to the rough. That's what happens. That's the thing in this game. If you watch my channel for a long time, I've talked about that all the time. When you're playing one-on-one, and that's basically what we're doing right here, we're just playing one-on-one. It's all about the deal. I should just go play one-on-one and just go right into the next hole and just figure out the bag and just play it. I probably have a better shot right now than going and looking at it and trying to have a game plan. I haven't played these Oasis holes. I think we played the Tropic Paradise, and we played the Mike D. Mike D in the house. Mike D and I played. I have some videos on that week, during that week of one-on-one play, and Mike and I were playing some of the Oasis holes, and just going out there and just playing one hole to the next. All right, got to make this shot with my Spitfire. Man, that's even worse than being in the rough. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You gonna do me that way? There's max, there's mid. And I'm way down there. Let's put on some backspin. Six. That's Just a little teeny bit of an adjustment. Just a little bit of an adjustment. Let me just go right off the cup. And hit it great. That's 3. You see how much my needle is jogging? I don't know how much it's jogging on your screen, but on my screen it's jogging. It's making big leaps. It's like going down to the end fine, but then it's making a leap. It comes up to the middle and then it makes a leap over to the other side. And then it's smoothly going down to the bottom and then it comes up to the middle and it makes a leap to the other side. Bad. So I may play this round and just go through the holes and just practice and dig around, and then go to and then play odd and try and get it in, because odd's the only one I'm going to play in the weekend, or my 77 account's the only one I'm going to play in the weekend round. I may demo some lower level clubs and just do the 99. I definitely want to practice this hole. I don't have the right club for this hole, so we'll have to take a different way at it. We'll take a totally different way at it because I don't have a Guardian, so I'll take a totally different way at this hole just to demo, like if you don't have a Guardian. And any Guardian will work. The higher the level, obviously, the better, because you got more ball guide. As soon as it gets its max backspin, it works really, really well on this hole. And then once it gets, as it's getting ball guide, then it really, you can really flatten that tail out because of all that backspin and how steep that hill is. All right, here we roll. Get it in, get it in. That was a good shot. 2.45. There's a shot that you can do from over here and try and bring it around. I don't know if my Grizzly's got enough. Where's that second bounce? I'm gonna break my own rule a little. 1.9 dose. Plus some. Max curl. Hey, great on the outside. Grading from pro, this is a side right here. This is a shot that you have to take into this hole all the time. And getting that backspin right so that you're at the spot. There's a spot down there that works really well, but the deal is that when you curl it around, you take a big risk of clipping the rough and it'll kill it at the top. And so if you get your trajectory right, and you can't put quite as much topspin on there, but to spin it around, you got to pull it back. And when you pull it back, on its arc going over to the hole, it clips the rough. That hole was the nightmare hole when I played Tour 9. That hole sucked. Hole number 3. I'm just going to glance at them. Let's just glance at them and go play. Alright, I know exactly what I'm doing here. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing a very small wind adjustment. I'm going to start off with a 5%. Start off with a 5, and I'm going to take a Grizzly. What did I play on hole number 1? I think I played a big ball on hole number 1, but I don't think we don't have to play a big ball here, I don't think. I take a Grizzly. But on hole number 1, I took a big ball, and I liked the way that the adjustment was. And I'm pretty far up there in mine. What did I bring on hole number 1? What did I bring? I don't even remember what hole number 1 was. Hole number 1, I brought a Kingmaker. I don't think we have to bring a Kingmaker. I'm going to bring a Katana. And we'll see what the distance stuff looks like. We'll see if that's enough distance on a club. If it's too close up there, because I think the wind is blowing from the right to the left, and we're getting a little bit of tail or a little bit of headwind. All right. I don't remember. This is as far as I watched, so I don't remember any of the other wind. I know on this hole we've got a little teeny bit of headwind. .6 rings. There's my red line. We got plenty of room. Plenty of room. I wonder if you can just bring it in without using the top. And just bring it over there to it. 2.5. 2.6. No. There's 2.6. And I'm going to have to snap it. And I hit it great. So you can't hit a 2-ring grate. Pitiful. I am just going to play these holes as one-on-one. I'm going to quit looking out. I'm just going to go out there and play and just like get used to the holes. This is why I play a practice account, because I'll come on and I'll be totally flat. Like I know all the holes and I know what I need to do, and I'm just playing like totally like shit. Which is pretty much how this is a continuation of where I left off. So like I need to pick it up and get a good little round going. I think I've already dropped one shot off the minimum. So I got that going for me. Ew, perfecto. And that's exactly the shot right there. Is trying to get it to go straight to it, not involving the hill coming down. I should be able to hit this. Too much lag. Too much. I'm gonna have to. What I'll do is I'm gonna finish this round off just so I can take a look at all the holes, and then I'm gonna play my 77 account, and then I'll just post the video, and I'm gonna play it without trying to tax everything on the system and see how it's playing, and see like I've let go. That's how much, or my opponent was going. Phew, phew. Thought it was my putt. Bad. That's bad. And I'm actually just trying to play. I'm just playing the deal. That's how much it's kicking my butt. I'm just gonna go play. Let's just go play. We'll just take them like they're one-on-one holes, and we'll just remember how to play them while we're out there on the course and just play. I know I've got some serious lag problems, but I should be able to, even with lag, I can play better than that. I love this hole too. I love coming at this hole with a Guardian. I don't know why a Guardian. I end up on this hole a lot with a Guardian, and I've played it a lot with a Guardian. I think it works better with it. I think the sniper rod distance. It's like the deal. In order to do the rough bump, a Guardian gets you up into that area, and if you've got an upper development and you've got some ball guide, it works out pretty good. I'm not sure which bag I have a Guardian in. I must have a Guardian in one of those bags. I can make any. You can make any driver work on this. If you got lower developed stuff, a big topper works really good on this. If you bring out a big enough ball to get over to that second fairway. That second fairway is super long, And it looks like it's going to roll for a mile and like, oh my God, I'm going to go off. But it's a really long fairway. And your ball will just roll along it. Let's see which bag I have a Guardian in. Tell me I have no Guardians. I have a Guardian right there. I'm going to take a power 3 ball. Titan, the king of balls. That's right. I don't know if I can put that much top spin on it. It's a lot. Two. If you've got lower developed stuff, it seems like it's a mile. Like it's harder to get over because of the top spin and the rod distance. So like but you can get any driver to work there if you bring out a big enough ball. So we don't use our big stuff while we're playing one-on-one. We save that big stuff for tournament. So the king of balls, Titan. That's right. Todd Brady in the house. What up, Darren? Dale Appleby. Hey, thanks for coming, Dale. I was in the middle of, I was just getting ready to start streaming, and I got onto YouTube to see if I was trying to get it to do a notice that would let everybody know like in 10 minutes I was going to stream, and I tried several times to get this to work, and I couldn't get it to, like, it didn't post up, or I didn't get a notification. So but I saw that Dale was streaming, and so I asked him how long it was going to be, and I got a window that I could record. So I watched until Dale got to hole number 3, and then I stopped, and I'm getting some really bad lag. Does this sound like this sounds like a broken record. I'm gonna finish this stream off, and then I'm gonna go to I'm gonna just film some holes and see how it looks when I'm just filming, and see if I'm still getting the lag. Hey, get the hell out of my way. Okay, 4-5 maximum club. There's 4-4. Just a titch over 4 rings. It's 1.1 per ring. Ah, that one's 1.2. I mixed it up with my 77 account. And I finally hit one perfect, and I got the wind adjustment wrong. I didn't take out enough wind. It's one. No, I actually took out more than I should have. So it was the way the wind's blowing. Did I take out too much? I'll have to go back and watch that to see if I took out too much. I thought it was at 1.1, so I did 1.1 per ring, but that is an extra. That's a Guardian 8, and the Guardian 8 hits at 1.2, and so I should have used the 1.2 as my ring number instead of 1.1. So I think I took out too much. And I was trying to do just a straight up adjustment. It was like 4 rings and a smidget, a titch, that technical term. See, you can hit it perfect, but can't get the adjustment right. Or you can get the adjustment right and then not hit it perfect. I mean, think of all the steps that it takes to actually get a shot to go in the hole. I mean, you've got to have a game plan when you get there. You got to have the right club, you got to have the right ball, and you got to be in the right spot. You got to know that you have the right spin. You got to take out the right amount of wind, and you got to hit it perfect. And there's a lot of steps. What's pissing me off is I've got all those steps down, and I can't hit perfect as often as I'd like. And when I get on a perfect streak, it is a thing of beauty, but when I'm not on a perfect streak, it's definitely suck. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do the shot here, and I don't care what club I have. I don't care what club I'm in. Every time I get this hole in practice, I'm trying the rough bump. And I'm trying to get the wind adjustment right. It seems to me that the last time we played this hole, and I didn't write it down because, like, we played this hole and we had a wind adjustment, and it was working for us in the qualifying round, practice round, opening round. But the weekend round rolled around and that wind adjustment was not working at all. Like we were doing like plus 10% and all of a sudden, bam, we were like out of the deal. And so I didn't write anything down on this hole as far as like what I thought we should be taking, because I wanted to start off with a clean slate. And there's two ways that you can do the rough bump here, and I kind of like this one better if you got a 3-side spin ball. And the ball guide is not, the ball guide's not lying too much. 2.6, I'm going to do a 10%. I'm going to do just 2.6. So my Guardian hits 1.2, there's 2.4, and that leaves me 2. So 2.6. Oh, it jogged right there. I almost let go. And I still hit it great. But great was better than where it was going to be on the other side. And see how close it hit on the rough there to that fairway pad? So the way the wind's blowing, is it coming towards me? I'm going to go back and watch that video because I want to see, because I want to be dead center. Like I started off dead center in the middle of that rough area, and I want to be dead center in the middle of that rough area. I don't want the wind pushing me back and forth, getting me close to the fairway behind me or the fairway in front of me. I want to start dead center and I want to end dead center. So I'll go back and watch that and see like where it landed, like what the deal was, which way I should have went. I can never remember that stuff when I'm playing. I'm just like playing intuitively and I'm not really paying attention to it. I'm just playing. And I don't get it. That's why it's so important to record yourself, because then you can go back and watch your video and you can fast forward to the spot and you can go, okay, this is what I did. And then you can start to dial in your numbers. All right. I'm not sure which way the wind's blowing in the tournament, but the wind is blowing along this rough area, and so the rough area is a good area to play. And I've got a Guardian, so I can actually play this hole. I will play it. It's 1.4. I'm doing a 40% wind adjustment. What I can't remember on this hole is if we were playing a 40% wind adjustment and max club, or if we were playing a 40% wind adjustment and mid club. I can't remember that, but I think it was at max club because it was 1.2. So it is max club. So it's 40% wind adjustment times the wind. 1.4 times the wind equals divided by 1.2 per ring. And we'd be in the hole. And I'm going to bring a quasar. I probably could bring a navigator. Oh, this is the way the wind's blowing in the tournament. I just got in the hole. Oh, I gotcha. That's what happens when you're playing one-on-one. See, that's the fun of playing one-on-one, is you're not paying attention. Hey. .4, 4.8 divided by 1.2, 5.6. Jeez, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Look at that. Jeez. I'm sitting here daydreaming. I actually forgot that I was just playing one-on-one. Look at that. That's how relaxed I am right now. This is why we play a practice round. This should give everybody hope. Yeah, I thought I was in a shootout. And that's the deal. Now I got to do the math all over again. 3.0 equals divided by 1.2. 3.5 rings. That's one less than max. 3.0. Pull the wind, it's 3.5 rings. Alright, and we have to snap it. Hitting it perfect. And over pulled it with the way that the wind is blowing on this tournament. So the last 2 times we've played this tournament, we've done 40% wind adjustment, and the wind has been blowing from the left to the right, and we've been getting tailwind from the left to the right. So it's blowing almost straight across the cup. And so we've had to take a bunch of wind out. And so looking at the way that the wind direction is, this is the first time we've had this hole where we've had that wind direction. So I took 40% off from where I was at. So I wasn't that far off. So I think I'm gonna work on that hole, and I'll do a 20%. I'll start at 20. Because 20 will still keep me in the rough area, and it'll at least tell me like if I'm getting closer or farther away or where I'm at to the hole. It'd be cool if it was at 20%, because then it would be one per one for the rings. Because we're doing 1.2 rings, so it would be good if it was at 20%. All right, hole number 6. I'm in the tournament. I'm actually playing a tournament hole. Let's see if I can remember this time. You're actually playing in the tournament. I shaved. What do you think? Yeah. All right, this is the bounce city bounce hole. First of all, let me bring it tight. The king of balls. I know I'm going to do a 20%. 10% would be 3. It's about a ring and a half. Hitting it perfect. I'm getting lag, but I'm figuring out how to hit perfect with a little bit of lag that I'm getting. Trying to do the bounce city bounce. And I could get some more distance on that. I could put some more toss in on there and stretch it out so that I have a little bit more room between the bounces, and it'll stretch it out on the other side. But you have to pull back a little bit in order to gain that, because if you put the top spin on there, you can put too much top spin on there and actually put that second bounce where it's in the rough. And so you need to get the top spin right and then pull it back so that the bounces are right. You're getting the bounce city bounce. But the last time we played this hole, the ticket that I learned was 20% on the drive. And then it puts you there because I kept getting blown off and ending up there on the bottom. And you don't want to be on the bottom on either side on that, because you'll roll off. Hitting it great. Sounds like me. And they've got the distance right there. That looks good. Really good. And a sniper would be better here because you'd have more ball guide. But I just came out and was playing one-on-one. That's the kind of round that I've been having, so might as well just go out and just play the holes. I wanted to come in there and just roll down that green. And roll over to the cup. Stay the hell off that rear rough. You get the right roll and you don't roll through the break. So in real golf, it would be like you're putting through the break. And so you look at the hole and you know it's got a break in it. It's going to break down to the cup. So if you can hit the ball at just the right speed, you can catch the break and it'll funnel right to the cup. But if you miss that break, if you go too fast through it. And so that's one of those holes that's super easy to miss the break. You can be going too fast, but you don't want to be going too slow because you definitely don't want to be high and to the, you know, if you're looking at the pin, you don't want to be high and behind it or to the left, because that angle, like when you go to make your putt, it's one of those putts where you have the big loop and you got to get it over there because you've got to now putt through that break. And so now you're actually seeing the break that's in the course. And so you want to get your wood shot going in there so that you've got it on that break, and it is much better with a sniper. And it takes very little, if you're in the right spot, it takes very little topspin. The best way to play holes like that is to try and be in backspin range where you can put on a little teeny bit of backspin. It was jumping so much I had to let it go by a few times to try and get it to settle down, and it never did, but at least it was jumping consistently. Jeez. What up, Deet SD59? Is it you that's really good friends with Kevin? You got Kevin involved in Golf Clash? Are you the one to blame? Yeah, and I'm just playing my practice round right now, so I'm not really too concerned about lag, and I'm not really too concerned about the deal. I just want to refamiliarize myself with the holes. I played... There's like 4 or 5 of these holes that when the game first came out, it wasn't a complete course. And those first 4 or 5 were in Tour 4. And so going up Tour 4 and Tour 9, you played Oasis. And by the time I got to Tour 9, it was still 5 holes. And then after that, they came out with the new ones. And I've played these holes I've played these holes a ton of times. I probably played the Oasis holes 400 or 500 times. So I'm pretty familiar with them. It's just going out there and reminding myself like what the holes look like. My opponent's going to forfeit or make me forfeit. They're going to sit there. I gotcha. No, make me forfeit. I was going to actually take that shot. Because we're doing the rough bump there, and I want to see what the wind adjustment is. I know it's very slight. It depends on the wind. So it depends on the wind that you're getting, but I think here we're getting more of a side wind. And when you're getting a side wind, the adjustment's different than when... This is one of those holes that when you're getting a headwind, you're getting a big freaking headwind. Hole number 7. What is hole number 7? Doing the rough bump on hole number 7. That is the hole right there. I didn't write down what kind of ball I'm using or anything. I think I've came on this hole with a Kingmaker both times, and so I had side spin at my disposal. Oh, this freaking hole. I hate this hole. This isn't my favorite hole. Let's see here. What do I want to bring? I want to bring a sniper. Bring a katana. Let's see if I have enough red line. I'm right at my red line. And that wind, I can just... I'm going to do a 10% pull. So it's 4-3, so it's going to be 4-7. And I want to see if I hit dead center in the middle of that, because if I don't, we're going to have to move it forward just a little. Ah! And you can see where it hit right there. That was, so like where it would have hit if I hit it perfect, it would have hit to the right of that. And it was really close to the rough. So I think that on top of doing a wind adjustment, we need to move it. It's almost like we're at the red line, and then we need to pull it back, make our adjustment, and then move it forward like half a ring. and put us back so that when it comes over to the other side, it puts us, so like the ball guide seems like it's short, it should be a little short because we're actually going to push it forward a little bit and see how that works. Because the way that the wind's blowing there, that fairway is pretty wide, and so we should have, our shot range should be somewhere along the center line of that rough. So like if we didn't take out enough wind, the wind pushed us forward. If we took out too much, we're back here. But what's happening is we're getting too close to the freaking, I'm getting too close to the fairway behind me. You may be able to fix that too by bringing out a bigger ball, because it'll push your red line forward, and when you take out that adjustment, you're actually over adjusting, because you're going to be like in between max and mid. So there's a couple ways that you could approach trying to fix that problem. But it might be I missed out. It might be that we just have to push it forward the ring. That's why the ball guide's lying, because the spot we really want to get to is just a little ahead. So it might be better to bring out a bigger ball. That way you have, I think I will bring out a bigger ball on that hole, just because that gives me the entire rough to set my shot up in. Because I think I was more towards the top already. And then see how that works out before I pass judgment on moving it half a ring or something. I definitely don't like where that bounce is bouncing. Alright, hole number 8. What are we doing on this? This is a par 4. Taking an extra mile. Kingmaker. Hornet. It's the only clubs that count. Is that the right hole? Am I on the right hole? I don't think I'm on the right hole. No, I'm on the right hole. I don't even remember where I'm at. What's up, Dale? I did say hi to you. I said hi. You must have gone on and then went to the shower. I said hi. I talked about you for a bit. I watched some of your stream for a while, and then I needed to stream because I had a period of time that I could do it in. And so I watched until like hole 3, and then I had to start. Just getting a little bit of practice in. I'm going to use a Kingmaker, and I know that I can't use maximum topspin. If you have an extra mile 8, you can probably use maximum topspin. I want to be 2 rings off of that transitional surface, and that's going to put me 1 ring off of the transitional surface on the other side. So to compensate, I'm going to put on a little teeny bit of curl to bring it back over on the other side of the shot to put me back in the center of the fairway. That way if I hit a grate to the right, it'll still clear down there, whereas if I hadn't put that little bit of curl on, it would clip right there, and then it would have ruined the shot. I mean, you'd still bleed out and you'd still have a good shot, but you wouldn't put yourself in the area that you want to get to up there. So 2 rings of separation, Dale. That's the deal. What's up, Pamela? Jeffrey. Leanne. What's up, ladies? I always like the lady viewers. I actually, when I first started, there was like, and it's just not me. It's like a lot of the streamers that are out there, it's 99.99% of your viewers are male, and it was 0.01 was female, and I've gotten that number up to 1.5, so that's awesome. That way I can say I'm hanging out with the ladies. Alright. up, baby? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3.2. I'm going to do 3.3. Oh, Jesus. Freaking Christ. Man, it would have been short. And I think that's the kind of... The last time I played this hole, though, I was playing against somebody. It was always... Every time I played this hole and done that rough bump, it always takes an irregular bounce coming out of the rough onto the green. And I was 2 rings of separation. I was 2 rings deep into the rough. And every single time I've taken that shot, it always had this little irregular bounce. And so the irregular bounce, you can't adjust for that. Sometimes it goes in and sometimes it doesn't. And you can do the same thing over and over again. And one of my opponents came here and I watched them do that shot, and they were 3 rings of separation, and I watched how it bounced, and it didn't have the irregular bounce to it. So I matched suit on that exact shot and did 3 rings of separation, and we both were freaking in the hole. So 3 rings of separation. I'll have to go back and look at that spin to see what kind of spin I put on that. And this is not the wind that we're getting in the tournament. I don't think I have the right club either. I think I have a sniper. I don't think a sniper has enough backspin even when it's maxed out. I really think this is a freaking... Well, I suppose if you bring a big enough ball, you can use your grizzly. So I guess your sniper does have enough backspin. We will try it out with a sniper. Here we row. Ah, I do have a guardian. Look at that. Look at that. I came prepared. The way this wind's blowing, I'm going to take out, that's 2, I'm going to take out 2, 8. I'm going to take out 2, 5. Man, I'm on a trip I am going to quit hitting it from the left to the right. And only hit it. And I hit great to the left. And it ended up on the right, so that's bad. So that means that whichever way the wind was blowing, I got the wind. I either pulled out way too much wind or I didn't pull out enough. There's several of these par 3s where we're playing around sand that if you have headwind, the wind's coming off the water and it's coming across that sand, and the wind affects the ball a lot more on those little islands if you got headwind than if you're out on a lot of the other courses. So from playing some of these island courses, I know that like when I'm on those par 3s and I have headwind, I'm going to do like a big adjustment. Or I'm going to at least add some on. All right. Now, I don't understand, and this is the absolute best bag to have for this. I don't understand, like, do I have a Titan? A Kingmaker. Okay, I'm up here. I'm going to try and give myself as much separation as I possibly can. And I'm breaking my own damn rule right there, because that's as much as I can get. This would be a good 4 side spin ball hole. 3-7, a little less than 2 rings. Max curl. And I hit it good. Jogged. Jesus. That is such shit. I'm definitely after this hole, and I'm just gonna pitch this hole up on that pad so you can see what it looks like. Because that shot right there, your second, if you had a 4-side spin ball, and this would be a great hole for a 4-side spin ball, because you don't necessarily have to use all of the top spin. But if you can get your ball over there, or if you bring out a big enough ball that you can actually just overpower and do the rough bump up there, but you can bounce over from this side, and your ball guide's going to be going out there, and APOC would work really well. And when you put the curl on it, it's just going to bring it back over to that other fairway, and you really want to try and do like a rough bump, because there's a really decent shot if you're like in the first half. So like if you just make it on there to the middle, there's a great shot that you can do, that you can bring it around with a Guardian. If you get way far forward, and I wish my opponent would actually hit back and so we could see what it looked like from far forward, and I'll hit to the other side. I'm just going to bring it up right here and not try and get it more forward distance than what I might have got. I'm just trying to lay it up right there, but if you're way up front, you might have a rough bump with a sniper. And when you're playing one-on-one, like I don't know, in one-on-one play, I don't know that I've ever played anybody who plays this hole from that center fairway. Everybody hits to the fairway straight ahead of you, and if you do that, you're relegating yourself to having to hit out into this area. And then you're going to do a rough bump chip in to try and get your eagle. Whereas if you play from over here, you can see where my opponent's at. Even from the rough, they can recover if you're all the way forward. And that's, bam, eagle time. And from where I'm at right there, bam, eagle time. And so if you're on this side down here, you can pick up an eagle. And my opponent did not play that well, but if you've got a Guardian, you can do, there's cool things that you can do with a Guardian, especially if you're short, because you can hit a Guardian at max overpower, and you've got all that backspin, and so you know the ball is going to stick on the green. Maybe about 2 rings off, because that backspin is going to be a lot more effective when it gets down there. There's 3-3. That's 3-6. That's 3-8. And then I'm just going to use max curl and try and do a backspin, side spin curl shot. And I hit it great on the inside, about 2 rings. And so I would have needed to put, from that angle right there, I would have needed to put all of the backspin on it. But you can see how when it's coming in there, if I put all the backspin on to keep it. The deal is that sometimes when you're doing those, especially when you're using lots of backspin and you bring it over where it's showing you that it's going to hit and how the backspin's engaging is on a hill. But when it spins around, it's actually hitting on the green. And so sometimes it won't, like it says it's going to just kind of run out because it's a downhill slope, but by the time it gets over to the green where you put it with curl, it stops. And so I needed to put all of it on there. And you can get an easy eagle on this hole. Nice shot. It's just, if you can hit that drive, and where do you need to get on that island? Anywhere on that island, or in the rough in front of the island, obviously, from my opponent. And you could get up better from there than what my opponent did, where you were actually on the green. All right. That was hole number 9. So I went out, and this is a practice round, and I didn't make it. I'm only going to play 1 weekend round, so I'm going to play my 70-70 count. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot it just on my tablet, and then I'm going to see like if I'm still getting the lag, because that'll tell me that it's my internet connection entirely, and it's not the connection that I have going on where I'm streaming off the computer and I'm doing the deal. So we're going to test it and see what the deal is. And I do have somebody coming over this weekend to look at my internet. And so hopefully we can get that problem solved, because that lag is killing me. Like killing me. Like you can't get into any kind of rhythm. You know, like if you're watching your device and it's every time it's like perfect, you know, you can get into a rhythm. It may take you a few shots to get into it, but when it's constantly lagging, it's oh my God. Then I have to sing songs for you guys because it's lagging so much, and you don't want that to happen. It's my channel is Ot. So if you go to YouTube and you go Ot Golf Clash, I'll pop up and you can go to the channel. So I focus on Ricky. We only play Ricky. I play advanced Ricky. I also have a low level account. Well, I'd say a mid level account. It's never really played past Tour 4, a few Tour 5s, a few hours playing Tour 5, but it's pretty much got Tour 4 clubs. But it doesn't take very long to get your Tour 4 and below clubs maxed out or close to maxed out as far as commons. If you just play on a regular basis, and I play in tournaments, so you get people say you don't get good clubs in the Ricky tournament chest. You get awesome. Look in your tour. We were talking because we're going to do a clan tournament. The Kings of Golf is going to do a clan tournament. We haven't decided what the format's going to be. There's a survey up, and I'm going to take it as soon as I get done with this stream. But we were talking about yesterday about like questions to put in the survey and like how it would go and what clubs you pick. I guess, and I don't want to do it, but I mean the fairest way to do it is everybody has basic clubs. That way you're playing the holes like Golf Clash intended, and you're playing with nothing more than a 0 power ball, marlin or a white ball, and just go out there and play. Because if you look at the tour, like if you just did Rookie, if you played Tour 3 and you didn't let anybody play with clubs that were higher than Tour 3, man, you got awesome clubs. If you've been playing for a while, I mean your Tour 3 clubs, you got a selection of awesome clubs and Tour 3. So like if you're looking at your clubs and going, well, that's a good club, you got to think about the players that are also in your clan, like what kind of clubs they would have in Tour 3. So like any of those drivers would work really, really well. It doesn't really make any difference to me. I mean, like the Rocket would be the weakest of the bunch, but when you first start playing, your Rocket is your accurate club. So, and it's still your accurate club. It has crap for distance, okay, but it has tons of accuracy. It's got tons of ball guide. And so, like, if you pick the commons, this is still a great club when it gets maxed out. A Viper, a Horizon, Big Dog. I mean, I'm not sure, like, any 3 of those can get the job done, and they're all 3 long hitting clubs. So, like, the Viper starts off really early in its life at like 170, 173. Whereas your Sniper starts off at like 160, so it takes a while for your Sniper to get the raw distance before the Viper gets taken out of your bag. So it'll be interesting to see like how people wanted to do it, but the fairest way to do it is just do beginner clubs. And I would recommend a beginner putter because I find that that's the best putter in the bag. Yeah, and Kingfisher, a runner, even the runner is not that bad of a club, and when you've got lower developed clubs, your runner is your backup for your Kingfisher, because you'll find that there are some times when you don't quite have enough distance with your Kingfisher and you'll use your runner in lieu of it. But when you have lower developed clubs, that Kingfisher is probably, it should be glued to your bag until you can get your Hornet to the point where your Hornet has more ball guide and or accuracy. So like you want those two to balance out, right? So for those of you that are in the clan that are watching, I mean, if you're picking clubs, I really think the beginner clubs would be like, that'd be like a true deal of like what your skills are. They all have numbers, so you'd have to find what the numbers are, but you have no spin, so you'd have to be able to anticipate it. Firefly. One of the thoughts is that we could pick the lowest epics, like the worst epics. I mean, and that would be a Boomerang, and at this level, it's not that bad of a club. I mean, it's still a crappy club. It does pick up some stuff, so when it gets up in level, it gets better. But that's not a bad club. All right. So if you're new to the channel, those are the type of clubs that I play, and we all play Ricky. And we have a bunch of people that play Ricky, and we have no judgment. So like we have people in our clan that are new players that are trying to get up and trying to build their stuff up and trying to win banners and trying to get the clubs, and we've got people that have banners. We're all about winning banners. That's the whole deal. I mean, we just want to play the game and win banners, and we don't mind tough competition, and we don't mind being in good brackets. And the way the bracketing is in Ricky, whether you're at Ricky Pro, Ricky Expert, Ricky Masters, it is I mean, like, what more competition are you looking for? The competition is tight. If you're not on your game, you're not going to win. So, I mean, any of those people that are out there that are like, oh, I'm not winning, that's bullshit. Well, the deal is that this game is tough. I mean, you got to be on it, and you got to be a student of the game. You've got to practice and take notes and play and be willing to move off of your notes if you're not making the shot and stuff. And so the people that are up at the top, they're the ones that watch the channel. And most of them are much better players than me. Like in my own clan, I'm probably a top 10 rated player. Like one of my suggestions was we could take all 3 clans and have a clan-wide bracketing so that we know where everybody's ranked clan-wide. And that way, for the seeding system, we're seeding it just like a regular tournament where the number 1 seed in our clan is the number 1 seed in the bracket, and the number 2 seed is the number 2, and so we go up the bracket. That way, potentially the number 1 and number 2 players in the clan would play each other in the finals. Yeah. And I'm probably a top 10. I'm probably a top 10 rated player, and that's awesome. That's right where I want to be. Thanks, Pamela. I try and explain the shots. I try and explain that was the whole goal when I first started doing the videos, is I was trying to explain shots to my buddy Scooby. And Golf Clash Notebook came out, and it just felt like a really good fit because it was brand new and they're updating it every week. And so every time a tournament came out, and so anytime I needed to find holes, I had holes that I was shooting video for. And so I started streaming about that same time. And then I really started streaming like in December 2018, where it's been like pretty much like around the board every tournament. So I've got a lot of holes in the banks, but it's amazing to me when these tournaments come out that I still have holes that's like, wow, we haven't played that tournament in like 2 years. We haven't played that hole in years. Like there's some Greenwich Point, the racetrack holes, the 2 par 3 racetrack holes. We haven't played those holes in a long time. Now I don't even know if I have videos for those holes. Dale's channel's not kid friendly. I try and keep my cussing down to a minimum when I'm on Dale's channel because it's not that I don't cuss, but I don't cuss a lot. It was more for the educational thing, so there were more tutorials. So it's like, I was doing tutorials and I thought that it would be inappropriate to cuss. So that's just how the channel was set up, and I look at that. We have got the kid friendly thing. If you're on YouTube, you had to go through and change your channel and make sure that you're not kid content. And so none of my videos are kid content, and I have 0 kid viewers. Like I have 0 viewers under the age of 18, like 0. So it's obviously not kid viewed. I think the average player that plays Golf Clash is like probably in their mid 40s. And I think all of the ladies that play, I think they're like 28. They may be on their like 6th anniversary of their 28th birthday, but they're all like 28 years old. And that's the way it rolls. Yeah, anybody that listens to the channel, I mean, if you want to join the Kings of Golf, we'll make room. And it's just all about having fun and trying to play. And if you really want to get good at the game, there's a lot of really good players in the clan, and everybody in the clan is really good. There's not a lot of ego shit going on. We don't play that kind of stuff, and there's not any yelling and screaming or none of that stuff. We're all just trying to play, and the information, nobody's like holding a shot back and going, okay, I can get it. Everybody's trying to share the information with the clan and help everybody out. So I mean, if you really want to get good at the game, it's not just me. I'm just the idiot shooting the videos. The team as a whole are better players than me. And so, I've been shooting videos for a long time, since the clan came out, and the clan, I am honestly amazed every time I think about like drawing the dots from where the clan started to where it is right now. It's just an absolutely amazing process, the quality of people that we have in the clan. So good job, everybody in the clan. That's why I do the clan videos, because everybody in the clan is really hipped on doing stuff. And so we want to, what really sucks about this game is the very first time I won in the freaking Turkey tournament, and I was so happy when the majors came out and the major tournaments superseded. But the first tournament that I won in my 77 account was the Thanksgiving Day tournament, and in that tournament, I didn't know anybody that played. So, I mean, it was like me, and I'm looking around, and it's like I'm all excited, right? I'm all jazzed up, and like there was no recognition whatsoever. I didn't get a call the next day from the president. I didn't get the Tonight Show, for whatever reason, did not call me. I didn't get a call from any of the major networks to do an interview with me. I had no press whatsoever. And so that's what's cool about doing the Kings of Golf videos when we're doing the final standings and those, because everybody's getting some recognition, because everybody puts in a lot. You know, it makes the game a lot more fun when you know you've got a team behind you. Dale does have a drunken slur. You better watch out, Pam. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this stream, and then I'm going to play my 77 account on my tablet, and I'm going to record the video, and then I'll post it. And I want to see if my internet connection is the problem, because that would be good, because I have somebody coming this weekend to help me with that, to fix it. And if it's not that, then I know, like, I need to, on top of that, this weekend I need to go look for some new equipment, a tablet. And I know for a fact that this weekend I'm gonna buy a camera and a stand, and I'm gonna buy a mic, because the CPU fan is what's making that noise, and I want to be able to put my laptop off to the side so I can see the stream and just run the chat on it, and then I can work off of my tablet in front of me. But that's that humming noise you're hearing in the background. And if I get a mic, I can take care of that problem with a camera and a mic, because then I can move my laptop wherever I want. All right. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being